Have we done anything on this lot down here? Railroad, as far as filing the liens on that property? It'd be a nice ideal place to put like a small carnival or something in there. Arcadia, the last festival that Tommy Rocket was involved with down there in Arcadia, he got a organization out of Anderson, I believe it was, that had a lot of just small type rides.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, they had a couple for bigger kids, like the big swing type deal. You got in and went around in a circle that the bigger kids and adults could swing on, but a lot of it was geared towards smaller kids. And it didn't take up a whole lot of room down there at the park. It's where they set it up at. It'd kind of be neat if we had possession of that lot and just designate that lot for that, if we could get power to it some manner.
I'd still like you guys to consider permanent bathrooms. There's grant money available.
Well, that's,
which would free up the lot behind the town hall
well,
as well.
we can talk, what's his name here? What's his name, Mike?
Oh, Climb Pepper?
Yeah.
Peter, I mean.
Yeah, and see.
Because I was thinking
have him
the
to,
old town garage lot, I mean, that's midpoint, and we put, you know, we
Yeah,
put.
it's kind of central to
our-
everything.
Our biggest allotment of bathrooms is on that lot now during festival, but, you know, I figured it up conservatively. In the last 20 years, we spent like $120,000 on bathrooms.
Wow.
Well, we're spending almost 10 grand a year now. That was low bid, whatever it was, 9,600 or 9,400.
When I was checking into alternative company, it's only gonna go up, because when I was checking around, the people that did give me numbers, it was $14,000, $18,000, you know, like, it's a big money business.
For collecting?
it'd
Shoot.
Yeah.
it'd probably be in our benefit to do that down the road, especially if there's grant money.
Yeah.
We could put in a permanent facility over there.
Well, I mean, I don't know, for me, I think it'd be, I mean, they do a good job, don't get me wrong in saying this, but I think it'd be neater, cleaner. I mean, it's always more appealing for someone to use a bathroom. I mean, that's why the trailers have been so popular.
Yeah,
But then we wouldn't have all the setup, the space where to put them, you know, cleaning them at night, dumping them, everything. I mean, it could just be there and go.
Just have to hire a couple attendants that are there all weekend, or all weekend. And
Hopefully save money over time. I mean,
Yeah.
especially if these prices start going up a lot, it's not gonna take long to recoup our investment.
Do you think we should look at putting electricity at that Kane's lot, or, I mean, if we, depending on, I suppose, what we,
I mean,
did we discuss that one time? I was thinking that we did we, or did we not?
there was a food vendor there one year, but they got power from the neighbor.
well, it wouldn't hurt if, you know, for the future.
Yeah,
that way we
I
can
would
put-
wanna make that improvement with a purpose, like we have a solid plan in place of what we could use it for with that. I mean, I'll invest that money into it. Maybe there's something that's
Well,
more self-contained that makes sense,
If we could work it out and get bathrooms, we could always move the one that's down there.
but, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that service.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to Mercantile 37 out there, and,
It'd be great to work with.
yeah, so we're expecting a phone call back from the owner out there. We thought that would be kind of, I mean, he does have some really nice vendors over there, but he also has the food. I don't know what, you know. I do know that when I was out there one time, I had given him a card, and he was really interested in, you know, coming to the festival. That was for all COVID, of course, you know, so.
Let's see.
But somebody did call about that lot. Dennis's lot. The
Oh,
neighbor, yeah, the neighbor called and said that her, yeah, her realtor was interested in buying it.
Do we have our mow liens and tear down lien on that?
And I told her, I said, there's a lot, I said, you can go online to look it up, but I said, there's a lot of liens on
Well,
there.
the taxes are like 28,000.
Yeah, so I
What's our liens, like another 20 something?
did, yeah, I just did.
Like $50,000 in liens on it? You could foreclose on it,
Yeah.
which would get out of property taxes.
Other general improvements, we really need to buy new barricades, and it's something we've been talking about for a while. I don't see a way around it. That was probably my first year working for the town, so in 2011 was the last time that we kind of rebuilt the ones we have that were falling apart, and they're well on their way to that again. There's a lot of time and effort in doing that. If we buy the right thing, we'll never have to mess with them ever again. You know, be plastic, last forever. Will look better, and they'll all be of a consistent size. They'll fit all in the trailer. Better, they all random sizes that some of them hang off 8 feet past and down. So it's gonna cost us some money. What do you think? $3 grand, something like that.
It would be under, I mean, I've gotten different prices, so it depends on what we would get and if we wanted to put something on them or how we wanted to do that. I've looked at a few options, but I would say between $2,200 and $2,800. And I base that off of 25, we may need a few more. That's 12 foot. 12 foot's the biggest, is the longest plastic barricade A-frame I could find from any manufacturer. I've looked at several different ones. Because some of our streets are gonna require 2. You know, a lot of them will be 2.
Probably use 3. Right?
Yeah, there's a few wide ones that would need 3. Alleys that we block would just need 1. I guess I could get you guys a refreshed quote and get a map out and count them up, how many we would need.
Yeah.
But
Do that.
yeah, they're getting rough.
So 2 areas I think that we need some big improvement is we need to at least take a look at our marketing strategy. I know you go for a lot of the traditional media kind of stuff, but I don't know, there's got to be a way to better take advantage of social media now. And I don't know exactly what that looks like. We need to update our website anyway too, but especially for festival, realizing that that's if somebody does see an online effort, they're gonna click the link and it comes to our kind of outdated site. So, I don't know, does anybody have any experience? What do you do for advertising?
I use Facebook a lot,
Yeah, you get a lot of response.
yes. And the people look for it. There's a vendor, there's an Earth Festival vendor, I think that maybe does pottery or something, that just makes their own Earth Festival event every year. And they name it, so people think it's like Village at Earth Festival, and he'll get like 2,000 people interested or go, so people look
Sure.
for things like that on social media, so I do think it's important for you to have a,
We could start a permanent festival page. Yeah.
Now, I don't know how it works when you get into buying advertising on Facebook, but I know that be something to look at too. Yeah, I see local businesses, they just pop up on my thing, whether,
Well, we looked into that one year, that was through, one of the radio stations, I can't remember, but they did like the pop-up ads when you're on Facebook, where, that was, I can't remember, it was one station where I have to look back and see.
Well, Facebook, some of that advertising, we get involved with it from the newspaper. You can pay for the number of distributions, let's say you wanna, just for conversation purposes, reach 10,000 people, and it's X. You can kinda geographically say, okay, I want this ad to go in front of people in the 46030 or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can broaden it out however long you want it, or however wide you want it, and however many people you want it to reach. I've had good success from the newspaper with it, on using them. And of course, I have great success just with the newspaper, just in general, on Facebook. I mean, it's not uncommon for us, especially in northern Hamlin County, to post something about something that happened in Cicero or Sheridan or Arcadia, and have 20, 30,000 views on that.
Right.
So yeah, I certainly am a firm believer in Facebook and using that to help market. It's done a great job for us.
Well, that's what I was hoping to hear, that it was a good option. I guess we need to put together a bit of a strategy. I don't know if maybe we should do some to target some vendors, and then as we get into as we get closer, start hyping the event, the general public, I don't know.
You've got email addresses for vendors? Sweet. There should be no problem.
Yeah.
You want a page? You want a page?
A page what?
You want a Facebook page?
Oh, yeah, I think we should probably do that.
Okay.
Let's go all in. Let's do Instagram, put up festival pictures.
I don't know anything about Instagram.
And also, if you ask all the vendors to share the event
With it.
page, that, I mean, your reach is unbelievable.
It is.
And you can, like he was talking about the targeted posts, you can even, so you said you wanna have breweries out, you can target an ad, and you can spend as little as $5, and you can target people that are interested in local breweries, or somebody that's interested in wine. I mean, Facebook knows everything you're interested in,
Sure.
whether you tell them or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
So, somebody that might not ever have a Earth Festival ad pop up in their newsfeed, if you specifically target an ad for that, it'll come up.
Okay. Well, I think I can confidently say we take whatever help we can get, at least pointing us in a direction on some of this stuff. My last big point on here was, well, I've got two, I guess, but how to best solicit sponsors. And, I don't know if we need to reevaluate some of the perks that we have available. I definitely am of the opinion that, especially for big sponsors, they're not gonna hand us a bunch of money over the phone. We need to have something that we can go and sell them in person, something that would, some kind of a presentation that we can go and do. I don't know if anybody has any experience going and selling.
I just had some people from where I worked, I mean, they always came at everything. They said their biggest complaint was there wasn't enough places to sit down and rest because they wanted to spend more time here, but they got tired because there wasn't any place to sit. Or once they bought something from the food vendors or whatever, there wasn't any place to sit and eat. And that was their only complaint because they loved everything else. But they said, after about 3 hours, you're ready to sit down for a few minutes.
Sure.
Well, they got
We
that
put like
park now.
we put like 300 chairs in the park,
Yeah, but
plus the ones at your house.
I
Yeah, but if you're halfway down Broadway,
yeah.
Well, but, I mean, there's a limitation to.
Maybe we ought to put up signs or something, say rest area.
We do.
Why don't,
Oh, is there?
Huh?
See, I don't get past my block.
Right, no, we do.
I don't know anything.
We put
But it
out,
doesn't, it doesn't mean, maybe, you know, it's not something to look at, and maybe we can, I guess it wouldn't have to necessarily be anything big.
our
It's-
biggest thing for us, which I know would be hard to do, and I don't even know how to go about it. And I know we tried it before, and it just wasn't done right, and it could be done in another format, but like with an app, we need an interactive map, wherever that's gonna be, people can reach it, that shows, you know, stuff, and like I said, I don't know if it was the wrong person or right person, but even, like when I go to a conference, they've got an app. Everything's on there, map, where vendors are, who they are, what time events are at, everything. You can select your classes, which I know we're not doing that here, but I know it's doable to, and I don't know that if we try it in an app again, or if we put it on something else, or if it's on the town website, I don't know what that answer
I don't
is,
know,
but.
cause we did,
I know.
that map showed the app showed the map, and I think we went somewhere one time, that they had like stations, you know. People didn't wanna take the time to download the information, you know what I'm saying, but I can't remember where Fred and I were that one time, that they had like, I don't know.
A lot of this stuff could probably be done web-based now, where you could have
Right,
website or QR code either way.
Yeah.
And it would,
right.
You know, that's kind
they
of in
would,
the
they would
same
feel
way
like they're
with,
using an app without
Yeah.
actually having to download an app.
Right, but I mean, that's what I'm saying, I don't know what the answer is,
Some kind of,
but you can put all that pertinent information on there, I mean, and I think it would help even with all these, even though our town's 3 blocks long, all these people that can't remember where they parked at, you know? I mean, you can have everything on that, the big areas, big things. Yeah, well, parking, that's another, gonna become
and you know,
another issue.
and even like with the food drive. You know, we've advertised, it would be great to be able to have more with that. I mean, you know, Nancy Chance had always said, usually takes about 3 years to kind of get people used to that idea, you know, but I wish there was some way that we could get even, it's kind of like, I don't know. Because we did talk about putting those codes up like in the food vendor booths, you know, let people know that all you have to do is, you know,
I've got that written
Yeah,
down as
it'd be
an
great
app
if
or an
it popped up, yeah.
online interactive map of some kind. Say festival guide. Just background to sponsors, has anybody's got a lot of sales experience or gotten solicited donations or anything like that before? I don't know what I'm doing with that,
a lot of phone calls.
yeah,
I'm happy to lend a hand.
okay. Come up with a way to land some whales, maybe, would be nice. The only other thing I had written down on here was well, I'll touch briefly on parking. We've lost a big portion of the parking that's out here. What I'm gonna try, I don't know who we get, whether it's a church group, or maybe we talk to Hamilton Commuter Express or something like that, but I think our only option's really gonna be, probably gonna be utilizing that land at the water plant and then busing people across. I don't see another way around it. I mean, that subdivision being developed out like that, it's just, unless the farmer over here, they're gonna not farm.
Yeah.
I don't know where else people are gonna go. I mean, you all fill up and you bought more land, even more land, it still will probably completely fill up, so. mean,
Till it's filled in,
we're, yeah,
you know? I mean, the sewer project will fill it in, but that wouldn't happen before then. I
I
mean,
mean, even if
I've
that
done,
means parking out back or something like that too, though, I mean, I know that's not optimal, you got wells and stuff.
yeah. We need the, I mean, we need the big field. And I've filled some of it in. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
the real bad areas.
Yeah, I've worked on some in the bad areas, but, and if we did it, you need to, I mean, I don't know, I'd have to go out there and measure, it needs to be laid out. I mean, I don't know how
Oh,
many,
for sure.
I mean, that back run, you could probably fit, it's just the 2 rows, it's so long, you could fit 200 or 300 cars
Yeah.
easily down there. I mean, I don't know how many cars the whole field would hold, it would be significant. But the issue is, like you said, is getting back across. But you'd have to have some sort of shuttle, or a shuttle bus or something, I don't know.
So for things like that, there's been volunteer organizations that have actually organized parking and stuff like that. And there would definitely have to be some sort of, what would you call them? Some kind of parking attendants there. Anybody knows an organization that point or direction for that? When you're talking about the food drive thing, if we're gonna keep doing that, it might be more success there too. I've had a couple of major entrance points. There was somebody that said they had to bring it to the park, you know, somebody may not wanna carry food all the way.
Well, we usually put it like, we put one at the ball diamond, we put one at our lot, we put one
Yeah,
at the stage.
yeah.
You know, so they are around,
Like, you know,
Yeah.
from the north.
yeah.
A lot of people come through that way, although not as much now probably with the parking differences,
Mhm.
so. I don't know. Committee structure and the members, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, next year you might talk to, for this coming year, to Steve Tragerson, because he had corn this year, so that means he's gonna go into beans next year.
So you might be done.
So
Yeah.
Harvested
If
by
they can
then.
get them planted early enough so they can get picked. It might be, you might offer, you know, suggest to him that maybe the Catholic Church could bring people down and park the cars and, if he's a,
See part of the, yeah,
and, you know, give the church a chance to make money, because they're gonna
Sure.
build that new church.
well, that's right, the one in Tipton that they have.
Yeah, the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Yep, so they're gonna get started on that.
The only other thing I thought that maybe we should touch on, and then open forum, I mean, I don't wanna be the only one talking here. Is our committee structure, the members. I think, I mean, I was helping with this before I lived in town and before I was, you know, before I even worked for the town or anything like that. And I think we probably would welcome any kind of help that we could get, so. I mean, obviously, everything does come down to a council decision, but even as long as we've been doing this, we're not experts at anything, we're not married to anything, really. I mean, there's a certain way, certain things that work and certain things that don't, that we found by trial and error, but when you're trying to make it better, like I said, we're open to suggestions, we're open to any help that we can get. And like I said, we need it, so. Y'all have any suggestions? Any
There's been
issues?
comments about extending it like on Friday, 3 days instead of 2.
Yeah, and that's something I had written down too, is I always thought it could be kind of cool to do a almost a festival kickoff Friday night.
Yeah. Not the full day, maybe, just of an
Yeah,
evening?
Just in the evening, have the food vendors open up. I don't know if that's something that we can pull off or not. I don't know how many people would come to that, but,
We used to have parade.
oh yeah?
Uh-huh.
You wanna lead the parade?
Lawnmower. Get our picnic for the cats on.
I'm good for a parade.
That's when the big steam thing was here.
Yeah.
We've looked at, just like down in the field, we've looked at like balloon rides. And we've contacted people for that, but they were saying that, during the day, the balloon rides, it doesn't work as well as it does in the evening, even if it's just tethered, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so.
Prettier.
Something like that, if we did do a Friday night,
Yeah.
something like that might be kind of cool, you know?
A balloon glow.
Yeah, like a balloon, something, you know?
They did that one year, didn't they? And they were down at the Ball Diamond parking lot.
Helicopter.
Was it a helicopter? Didn't they have a
Helicopter
hot air
was
balloon
behind
one year
our
too?
house.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a hot air balloon down there one year too?
I don't think so either.
Well,
I remember the helicopter.
I got a helicopter company, Murray, because we had talked to them a couple of years ago too, so I could look. Yeah.
The helicopter ride.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, they did that.
I
Right
remember.
our house.
I remember.
Take you up and zoo you around and bring you back.
Just because it's been mentioned, does anybody, what do people generally think about a carnival, sort of a, I think that's a good idea to at least look into a little bit,
They always seem to be popular.
yeah.
When they had, just the bounce houses and things that they had down there at the park there in the south end, they seemed to have quite a bit of business down there for little kids and stuff. And when the parents bring the little ones, little ones ain't much into looking at the stuff in the booth and whatnot. And when they start nagging and complaining to mom and dad, they can run them over and let them play for a while and go back at it, and maybe keep people here longer if we had something to entertain the kids.
The one year we had, instead of the bounce houses down here, we had like the rock climbing and then also the bungee jump thing.
Yeah.
That was really, I mean, I don't know how it is with, if we'll be able to have bounce houses back in here or not. I mean, I don't know how, you know what I'm saying? I just.
Because of the sanitary?
Because of the, yeah, because of the, that.
We'll be all right.
We do have to find a new company though, if.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did they go under, or they just,
they weren't making
No
much with the
dividends.
bounce house, yeah, so.
Only in
And
this
then
is real
Fred knows a
close.
guy that comes to Hazelville that does the bounce houses.
Dairy Queen?
He doesn't
Yeah,
do,
closed.
he doesn't do like that, as far as he does
And
corporate.
Chuck E. Cheese
Sure.
closed now, so because of that.
Well, I heard.
I don't know if Nathan Huffman does that. He had that bounce house there behind Dairy Queen Cicero.
oh yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, that-
Nathan Huffman. I don't know if he's still doing that.
No, it's gone.
He got rid of all of his bounce house stuff. Because I know he was doing it because he was going to bring him up to that festival in Arcadia one year. And I didn't know if he still had any of the bounce houses for exterior parties and stuff or not.
The train. The train needs to run.
Yeah, I need to make contact with them again.
They were supposed to run this past festival.
For one day, right? Are they just gonna do like Sunday only or something?
See, the train would be
Or
good,
Saturday.
it'd be good for them and us if they promoted it ahead of time. You could park in over
That's,
Yeah.
that
Right here.
Problem.
I mean, it would help.
Help with the parking and I think attendance. A lot of people like to ride that train up here just for the benefit of riding the train.
So they do advertise early on the things, but they're already advertising the radio rides now.
Yeah, but it's so expensive, they spend all the money riding the train, then they're gonna get up here and they're gonna have your money spent.
This year?
Yeah.
How much of them? Well, I I know when they did the caboose from the park downtown, it was $7. But now they're doing a little bit longer because they're coming over this way. With the reindeer thing. It's expensive. November, and then the reindeer comes in December.
Does anybody have any other comments, concerns, questions, suggestions? If you know anybody that makes good handmade, homemade items, we're always looking for good stuff from Main Street. Oh, I think one thing we probably do need to do is we might need to get we might want to get our remaining vendors out of the park. Does leave more sponsor area if we needed it, and then kind of refocus that as being the central rest / entertainment area. I mean, it seemed like, it was 2 years ago maybe, there was a few down along there, and it just kind of seemed like it
And those will look,
disrupted
I
the
think,
flow
will
there.
kind of like pop-up people with stuff in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but if we just maybe, finally do away with all that, and then, I mean, we can always open up another block if we have to. I would rather do that than have some vendors in the park. I think that's my personal thought on it.
Can you tell me how it works for like people that rent out their yard versus people that rent through the town in order to limit like recurring vendors over and over again?
We don't have
There's
any,
nothing you should do on private property.
I didn't know if the people that rent out their yards,
as long as it's nothing illegal, they pay each vendor has to buy a vendor permit in the town to be able to do that. The homeowner's supposed to facilitate that, usually doesn't happen, you gotta go around it, make sure. And then, at 6 feet off the street for anything that's not, a town.
so everything that's not Main Street and everything that's not Broadway is private.
Yeah, anything you can see around town.
Town property, and not the park.
Yeah. So, any of these little side streets, everything that's on, there's quite a few usually along Meridian. All of them are private property.
Wall. Sign wall. Kaufman.
So Jennifer, how many town spots do we have?
Town spots, it's around 300 and some.
Right. So I think we usually figure, because a lot of the private property ones are bigger, but just by permit count, we're usually, between 500 and 600 total vendors here. I think.
There's not many on private properties we have.
Yeah.
Murray, what are some of the perks for a contributor?
It's mostly advertising. Who's the one, Brownbush has been here for several years in a row. They bring their tractors out and ride one. And there's been a cool tie-in when they do the hayride down for parking shuttle. It's more exposure for them, and it kind of helps solve another problem too. But it's mostly just physical advertising. So I don't know how better to, what more can we give a prospective sponsor, I think.
If somebody paid enough, you could give them the trash boxes.
Yeah,
But I mean, they have to pay well. Even at $3,000 for trash boxes, it's a break even. And we're actually really not even starting to make money for a couple of years.
so we pay your plates made.
The
And
plate-
Century Home, they were interested in that,
In the trash box?
then the trash boxes.
plate, you pay $1,500 for prep plates. And we buy boxes 2 years at a time. Of course, we didn't order this year, and the previous year we did a 1-year order, which is brown. But we need a 2-year commitment, really, on trash boxes, or we're losing money. And we're really not making money, because really, with the trash box, the price we're at, the box vendor, they're basically paying for the box. You know, we're still paying for the rest of it, trash bags and, you know, disposal fees, yeah, that sort of stuff.
Would
But
it
it
be,
is, you know, you're on 600 boxes.
would it be cheaper to have somebody print a decal to put on the boxes than printing the boxes? No?
No way,
No?
no way,
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah, no.
The
It's all
thing to
full.
do would be to get somebody that would sponsor it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Or really, 4 or 5. Because what happens is,
Really start.
eventually, the long-term commitment's what we really want, because eventually you catch up, because we purchase boxes by the pound, not the each. So we have leftover boxes every year. And eventually you catch up where you get a free year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you're, I mean, it's not free to us, because in that year, you would get your sponsorship money, but we would already have the boxes.
You know, I guess there's potentially a happy medium where you could stick one sticker on a cluster of boxes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
And once you have the plates, I mean, the cost per print, well, one variable is colors, because they have to run the box, they have to run it each time for each color.
It's like
Say.
screen printing a shirt.
Mm-hmm. But once you overcome the cost of the print plate, I mean, that's where you start to make out, because I don't know, the difference in a printed box versus a brown box is, I don't remember exactly, but it's, let's say $1.40 a box to get a box printed. Because we usually print on white paper, and then whatever the print is. So
Yeah.
there's,
So a white box, just straight white, is gonna cost more than brown.
it's a little more, yeah, and in the print, but it was, I think last time it was about $1.40 different a box, having them printed. And of course, Bex was the last one, and it was a 2-color, they did a 2,
How many boxes goes out each year?
almost 600.
600?
We revised it, we trimmed it down a little bit, I think, I've got the map in my office, I think last time was like, I think it was,
So you take 12 out?
yeah,
18
it
out or
was,
something?
it's about 300 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a couple off, 300 boxes a day, yeah.
Isn't there a banner over Main Street also with some names on it?
There's
Mr.
two,
Moken?
there's 2 locations.
Oh, yeah, we got down there too.
And so if someone wanted their name, for example, is there a set amount? Do we have tiers of donations and what their perks are if they have given X amount of dollars?
Yeah, we do, and I'm not sure that all the, we should probably, just like everything, look at those amounts and.
It's 300 for like, your advertisement on the maps, the flyers, the programs. And then, that's just without a spot. So then if they want a spot, then it's like $350, and it keeps going up. Like Rowdy Bush, when the year that he kinda did the whole festival, it was like $5,000. And we do like, for the bigger sponsors, like he was mentioned on the radio. You know, we have a radio ad that goes out, and it usually goes out like the weekend before it starts. You know, so he was mentioned on that. Mark Harebrant, of course, because he's a large sponsor, he's mentioned. And then like Endeavor, they do $1,000 for the kids zone, and they have their big banner. So, and then Rowdy Bush went back down to, they got the old fire lot with electricity, brought their tractors in, that was $1,000, you know, so you just kind of work with
The
them.
Hoosier
and see.
Library was our best one.
How do we get them back?
10 grand.
Were they 10?
10 grand, they were our best one ever.
We gotta try to figure out how to get them back.
They privatized,
Yeah, they did.
that's why we lost out.
Yeah.
They brought the big bus, they had the games, they had everything. They were the golden goose.
It'd be nice to get Bex again, since we already have their plates for the trash boxes.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
Well, I guess we need to try to put together some kind of a list of people to try to solicit.
I just hope we have, with this COVID stuff, I really hope that vendors, and you probably know, Jacqueline, as far as, they didn't make any money last year, but I hope they don't give up on it, yeah.
Vendership is picking up though. You're seeing more and more things with vendors.
Yeah, 'cause that could be the flip side of this deal, is people that are out of work now because of it might have picked up a new
Yeah, that's true.
revenue stream. Can you do advertisements on, like some of these online sales sites, like, people that make stuff for Etsy or something? Could you target? Is there a way to target those people?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know, I've gone on there, clicked through on like one thing, so I don't even know if there's ads, is there ads on that site?
We have contacted some people on Etsy to be actually vendors,
Yeah.
for the festival.
I bet a lot of the vendors that you have had visit here, even all the homemade on Main Street, I bet they have not only the email that you have for everyone, but they also probably have websites that they've
Yeah.
been coordinating and connecting relationships with that could really be tapped into if we had our own Atlanta New Earth Festival website. It gives them the opportunity that if I forgot to get that dog collar this year that was on the corner of,
Exactly.
this and this, I can click on their website and it will click directly to their homepage. We'd be doing a favor for the vendors and also letting people know who come here what's available again.
And that's what we do with the sponsors too, we actually put them on our website, and so when you go, and I don't know what's happened to Brad, I really don't. He's really our website,
We're gonna have to
definitely.
do
I
something
texted him the
else.
other day and I said, and I did not hear from him. So I'm not
We're gonna
sure
have to
what's
do
going on
something
with
else
him, but yeah, it definitely needs.
When you Google Atlanta New Earth Festival, if you've tried it, it takes you to a few Google options, but then it takes you here to the town hall, and you need to scroll, or not the town hall, but to the town, and then you need to scroll to the page for our festival, and it says, and I'm not quoting directly, but it mentions that there's really nothing to view at this time. So it's a roadblock even right now for people who are planning their summers, and they already are. Or they're wondering, is my spot still gonna be available there? We should probably think of something, even though you're looking at different marketing ideas, pepping up the
We gotta
town
have something
website.
good that whatever other
Bring 'em
marketing
in.
references back to,
Yeah.
so.
I think the easiest thing to do right now that's free is to create a Facebook page.
Yeah.
You don't have to link it to a website or anything until the website's updated, but you can have a Facebook page. Another thing that
At least there's a
vendors really
presence.
like is doing vendor spotlights. So each individual vendor has a little blurb on the Facebook page, which is kind of neat for people to be able to scroll through, okay, what kind of vendors are gonna be there?
So if there's,
And it's free.
yeah,
And have the vendors write it themselves. You don't have to, that doesn't have to be something that is gonna be on anybody's shoulders. If you want your business advertised, send your information to me and your picture and I'll post it.
good idea. It's 300 vendors, couple a day, starting early next year.
What do you think about raising the vendor fee too?
What are the fees
It's
right now?
I can't remember.
140?
It's 140,
It's 140 for
165 on per main.
149.65.
Food vendors?
Foods,
5:15?
No, excuse me, 590. No, 515, it was 490, it was
We added water.
515.
5:15.
Yes.
515, 165. 40, and then the private property vendor is 50. I mean, I'm gonna say that no matter what every vendor has ever said to me about being more expensive every year, or we're the most expensive festival or whatever,
That's a lie.
I
That's a
don't
big lie.
believe a word of it,
Yeah. Definitely the cheapest.
yeah.
Riley Days in Greenfield is like close to 500.
Yeah,
They're 2 days longer.
right.
But, I mean, it starts on a Thursday night and then it's all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We can research some of the festivals around and see, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wanna overshoot the market, but I think we do have room to move.
Yeah.
Would be, I mean,
Blueberry Festival's $500 for 10 by 10.
It's human nature to not want to spend your profit.
But add the
Everyone's
extra
gonna
day.
complain.
If you do the Friday kickoff,
Friday night.
The only thing with Friday night, I mean, vendors wouldn't have electricity, you know what I'm saying? If you give vendors, so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've got our setup on Friday, Thursday and Friday. So, I mean, I don't know, unless we just kept it in the park area and had like a, you know,
So, when the thought came to my mind, and again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I thought food would make sense, but I wasn't envisioning the festival, the
yeah.
whole event being open. Food, some kind of live music or something. So what time? I guess it gets dark kind of late in September.
Like
That'd
open
be-
mic on Friday and let people, you know.
Put a beer tent by the stage and have open mic.
Karaoke.
I can sit on the back porch and listen to it from home.
Well, we're just gonna have you on the stage.
Oh, you don't want me on the stage. I don't even sing to myself in the shower.
All right. I don't have anything else. Everybody, please, if you're interested in helping any of you out there, or if you just want to stay abreast of the situation, keep coming. We're gonna keep having these meetings.
Second meeting of the month, every month.
Yeah, let's try to make it a regular deal. I wanna make it better than it's ever been. There's no reason why not. Well, we got a couple minutes yet till the, board meeting.
We're done.
Yep, let's go ahead and